Hey, welcome back. First of all, I think we are playing on a different resolution right now. So I think the aspect ratio would be slightly different. I'm not sure how it's going to affect our uh, affect how you view it in a smaller screen. Uh, but yeah, I'm playing on a smaller screen, but with a different aspect ratio. So that might be weird. Usually we have 1920 into 1080, so this is slightly different. Uh, Okay, other than that, we're trying out a new setup, so hopefully it works fine. Yes, something else I noticed in the log window, we see the loading screen hint. So during the loading screen, we see a couple of hints, right? And since there is no continue button in the loading screen, it just shows the hint and just loads the game immediately. So there's a chance you missed reading the hint fully, even though the game loads fairly slow. But yeah, if in case we miss that hint, we can see it in the log here, which is such a nice touch. It's a pet peeve of mine where we have hints in the loading screen and they load way too quickly and you can't read the hint. So I was, even though it did not trigger for this game because it takes enough time to load, they have provided a kind of a backup so that you can still see it in the log, which is cool. Um, so we've reached disfavored camp. We yet to level up. We can go into the talents menu and see what to level up. There are some interesting things that I notice here. One is that verse has a different set of talents. It's not the same as what we have. I think since we are a custom character, we have a wider range of things to choose from. Even though we chose a primary expertise, maybe we can still shift to magic and other things, you know. But yeah, I've been looking at some of the abilities. This is way too like there are way too many abilities for me to even like read it off screen. So I looked up a bunch of stuff. We'll probably try to focus on unarmed mastery, like this tree, which gives some unarmed abilities. See, we have two-handed and unarmed mastery. We don't have one-handed, so maybe one-handed is somewhere else. Agility, duelist. I don't know. Not sure. But yeah, I think currently we'll focus on ranged and power, and maybe even leadership. Looks pretty cool. You can see the last one, which is undying. It says, "Plant your banner on the battlefield. You and your party members near the banner regenerate health and receive a bonus to damage." Okay, so that's really cool. But it requires 9 points in this tree, so I'm not sure if we'll be high enough level to get till here. We need 9 here, and couple here. So I don't know. For this first level up, I think we'll choose this one, escape, which is adds the routing effect to the thrust ability. Thrust now also increases movement speed and breaks current engagement. So if someone rushes us, we can thrust them and move away to ranged without triggering an engagement attack or disengagement attack. So we'll choose this for now. It's too hard to think further ahead. Like I can't see the broader picture. And in the same sense, like she has a different skill tree. She has duelist and skirmisher. This is more ranged. See, piercing arrows, hobbled prey. This is for skirmishers. This is like direct engagement. And yeah, I think maybe we'll focus on this. She'll be kind of a tank. We'll be more of a like we'll be like managing the battle, doing little things like ranged attack, leadership roles. I don't know. We'll figure something out, but that's probably where Sirius would be. Where would be more of a direct engager. So we'll probably go duelist for her when she levels up. Right now she has two talents already selected, duelist and skirmisher. So we'll have to choose later once she gets a new level. So we can go to him, escape, save. All right, cool. So now that's done. We can move around and talk to some people.
Right.
Take what you can carry, but leave the card. Otherwise, we seize you and your wares. Okay, this is robbery. That's it. This is Kairos' law. Hmm. Evacuating people around here. Who is he? Sterling Hagnon. It's quick save. We can't talk to them. Crescent Runner. Stone Shield. Okay. Sterling Hagnon. Hail, Fatebinder. The disfavored scout nods at your approach. Camps on up ahead. Don't mind us, just clearing out the rabble. Sterling Hagnon, I still don't understand what I've done to offend. I respect that these are now disfavored lands, and I'm happy to give the Legion a proper toll. But she's going on about trading rights. What nonsense is that? Am I not allowed to trade one thing for another? It's not like I'm selling weapons to angry peasants or anything of the sort. You're on disfavored land. These warriors have every right to kill you. You should be more thankful they're even listening to you speak. The Overlord regulates all trade. If you lack the proper permits, your goods are forfeit. Hmm. Okay, let's go to the second one. A trade permit? Well, how was I mean, to whom would I speak for such a thing? Not us, and not our problem. Maybe march your butt to Bastard City and plead your case before Tunon. But we'll lighten your burden and relieve you of your wares first. That should make the long trek a bit more bearable. Okay, so Tunon is right now located in Bastard City. So he's not present here. Here there's only Disfavored and Skull Chorus and their respective Archons. Hmm. Anything to be argued before Tunon may be argued before me. You had best start making a very strong argument as to why I should help you. Okay. Let's go with the third one. You have lost favor with the disfavored. Oh damn it. Everything I do loses favor with the disfavored. What's there to discuss? We should kill this mongrel and the warrior pauses, placing a hand in front of her mouth. If the Fatebinder wishes to weigh in on the matter, courtesy demands we listen. The soldier clears her thought, looking at you expectantly. This is a disfavored matter, but I know the agents of the court do so love to throw their judgments around. Well, could you rob me now and have my supplies today? Well, you could rob me now and have my supplies today. The merchant grabs a flask from his cart, or you can leave me alive and have fermented honey all year long. I even know a few family recipes for painkillers and healing rods. Certainly, any army will need those. Hmm. He uncorks a small ceramic vial, and the aroma of cloves and lanolin assaults your nose. These are essential goods to the war effort. We should leave the supplier intact. Lawbreaker, you have a lot of perishable goods, but no hauling crew. You're just a battlefield looter. Hmm. See, that's because you are a lawbreaker. That's cool. Subterfuge, lie. Curious. I was just hearing about a supply caravan of reagents gone missing. Hmm. Lore, hunter. Okay, so hunter also has an option here. If the disfavored have reason to question these items, I shall trust their judgment. Hmm. Let's go with the lawbreaker. You gain favor with disfavored. I don't. The merchant tenses up, his face flushing red. I don't know what you're getting at. Okay, athletics. Pick him up by the collar. How stupid do you think I am? Okay, to the disfavored. I think this steersman needs a little roughing up. To the disfavored, you are right. Kill this liar and share the proceeds with the legion. Okay, if we let disfavored handle him, I don't know how they'll. Hmm. Let's do it ourselves. You gain 50% athletic skill experience. Slow down, I'll tell you everything, just don't hurt me. I found most everything out in the forest of the valley. I'd keep my head low when I heard sounds of combat, then I'd take a look and grab what wasn't claimed by the first victors. So then you stole from the disfavored dead? How else did you get your hands on that iron? The scout points to the merchant's cart. You'd come here and sell us our own armaments? If anything has an owner, I'll return it, but this iron would have turned to rust if I left it in the mud of the battlefield. The disfavored are few in number, is that not right? You need a man like me to gather up supplies that would otherwise go to waste. That's a fairly, we can have an arrangement here. You may trade your wares freely, but lie again and I'll have you killed. The disfavored will tolerate your presence, but you will pay them handsomely for such charity. Okay. Leave this card as a gift for grave and ash, then leave and never come back. You stole from the Archons and then wish to sell it back. Your life ends here. Okay. I'll choose the first one, but I think it will again get us disfavored. Oh, no. Okay, fine. But he has no permits. You're allowing this lowborn rush to profit when he should toil like any other conquered tastman. Fatebinder, it's your right to settle disputes when we lock horns with the cause, but you have no authority on this matter. Hmm. Yeah, but I have the authority to write him a trade permit. Trust me, he'll be of use to the Legion. Yeah, he's a useful asset, you know. Again, lost favor. You seem so bent on protecting the steersman. So be it, but spare us both the parchment. He steps in close to Agnon and gives the peddler a one-armed show. Peddle your wares, but know that you're one mistake away from being strung about the palisades as a warning to others. Understood, ma'am. The merchant boasts deeply. You have shown me great mercy, and I will not squander it. I'll endeavor to keep this camp supplied to the best of my ability. You gain favor with the Lethian's crossing. My deepest thanks. I thought I was about to be robbed, and I left for dead. And here I thought the disfavored would thank me for trying to bring in fresh provisions. I'll be sure to keep my head down and not make any waves. Alright. And they disappear. Can we talk to him still? We can. Quick save. Slow down a moment. I know we are both eager to watch the Archons bicker over tactics like a pair of magpies. But I need to ask you something first. What's that? The voice of Nara told me that you've come as a mediator. Considering the source, well, I can't help but feel I'm only hearing half the story. So let's have it out. What's so special about you? Hmm. Oh, if we have subterfuge, we can ask this. Did the voice of Nara ask you to spy on me? You gain loyalty with words. You gain 12 subterfuge skill experience. At a loss for words, verse regards you with momentary unease. Well, I even surprised. He's an archon of secrets. Knowing in advance is his business. So he's snatching up any advantage over Gravanash. Those two compete like a couple of new recruits for a spot around the fire. It's nothing nefarious. The voice is just curious why. Okay, the voices is how we should shorten his name. Okay, it's not Narat. It should be the voices. But it's so odd to call someone the voices. The voice is just curious why you're here. If you want to know more, you'd be able to suss it out. You wouldn't be able to suss it out that easily. You would have sent one of his scarier peons in my stead. Hmm. What else has the voice of Nara told you? Only that I could find you in the Edgaring ruins. Truthfully, I could have picked you out of a crowd. You're the only one of us who hasn't spent the last few months bathing in the skunk of Matani River. She laughs, but there's a forced nature to it. She has accepted the suffering. Uh, why so suspicious? It's just a feeling I got. When the Archons are together, the air gets as taut as bowstring. I can't help but think that no amount of compromise will get them seeing eye to eye. So I guess Kairos gave word that we are coming as a mediator, but he already knew that we are coming with an edict, you know. Why do you think the Archons are toads? I've been I've been with the Skull Chorus since the early days of the conquest, so I can say it's been building for a few years now. There's an energy about those two, like a pair of storms swimming to collide. I heard tell that Gavanash and the Voice of Nara shared some bad blood in the Northern Empire, but I don't know any of the particulars. Hmm. If the Archons cannot put the past behind them, they are unfit to command. Hmm. By my authority, the Archons will fall in line. Oh, she's becoming more and more loyal. I don't know. I'm not I'm not intending to make her loyal, you know, it's just aligning well, I guess. That sounds like exactly the attitude to set this camp in the right direction. I don't envy you the task of getting them to cooperate, which sounds about as easy as teaching a tornado to heal. Hmm. Lore. We don't have enough lore. I wish they would show us how much lore we had instead of just the requirement. If they could give us a quick comparison, we know how much we require, right? Should we tell her now? Hmm. Not sure. I feel like she'd be more loyal towards us than, at least eventually, she'll be more loyal towards us than towards Voices of Narat. I don't know. Hmm. We can. I like doing this, so I'll try. I'll try doing this. I'm here to deliver an edict from Kairos. You gain loyalty. That makes a crazy kind of sense. Considering how long the siege has taxed the armies, I can understand why Kairos would send you with an edict to speed things along. Have you read it? Do you know what it says? Hmm. The Archons must claim Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords. Okay. 26th of every month or span is Kairos' day. It is a day of holiday and the rest for all within the Overlord's empire. Each Kairos' day is the last day of its span and is referred to by the span's name. Kairos' day of swords, therefore, is the 26th day of span of swords. Are we in like 18th day of span of swords or something? Ascension Hall is a traditional throne room of the Queen of Apex. The throne stands directly beneath the mountain spire in the center of the citadel in the valley of Vendrian's Well. You gain loyalty. One more thing for Archons to fight over. Well, thanks for cluing me in. If Cairo sends any lightning our way, just tell me when to when to duck. Alright, I really ought to be meeting the Archons. The warden is just past the center of the camp. She nods towards northeast. One last thing, be careful on those disfavored types. They take their work seriously, and most have suffered too many blows to the head. She keeps bringing that up. Let's look at her. Where is it? Reputation? Yeah. See? We can get a new combo ability soon. You caught on to versus subterfuge, versus pleased by your feisty chaotic inclinations. Elated by your feisty chaotic inclinations. So this happened 4 times. This happened 2 times. Elated versus pleased. Maybe this is better than pleased. This is stronger than pleased. It increases the loyalty further or faster. So much disfavor. Yeah, so this is decrease, this is increase, decrease, increase. This is a lot of increase. That's why we are still high. These two are quite a significant increase. All of these are smaller, represented by the arrows. All right. What else did I have in mind? We can talk to her. We have a bunch of dialogue tree dialogues that we can have with her. I think
Faithfinder, always a pleasure.
okay. So I think it feels appropriate after having had that small conversation with her. So I think we'll continue. Verse loyalty to Fatebinder, always a pleasure. Verse sizes you up with open curiosity. When her assessment is done, she laughs to herself, shaking her head. What is it?
What do you need?
Tell me something about yourself. Skull Chorus, Disfavored, Kairos. Care to duel. Interesting. Tell me something about yourself.
If you insist. I'm a Scarlet Fury. That should raise some flags for you. It means that I'm good at killing, and more importantly, that I enjoy it.
Okay.
What I won't enjoy are the pleasures of funerary rites packed with weeping mourners. Someday I'll fall in battle, and then they'll roll me into a mass grave or heap me atop a shit-stained wagon. One more anonymous, knife-riddled piece of meat.
I don't know what this establishes,
Until then, I plan to take whatever I can from life and have a little fun along the way.
okay. I guess we asked her about herself. That's why she's like indulging in this rant about herself. Tell me about your life before the chorus. Life? What life? As far as I'm concerned, I didn't exist before the chorus. There was some girl in a farm wearing my face and talking with my voice, but she wasn't me. Sometimes she would sneak out at night, take a scythe, and have some fun with the livestock. Our shared interests began and ended there. Our shared interests. Okay. Meaning, like, farm, the people in the farm were also interested in livestock, but her interest was in, like, maybe harming or killing them. When Skullchorus swept through my village on the long trek from Bastard City, that was when I finally woke up. I buried my old life, took red vengeance on anyone who had wronged me, and found the freedom I could only dream was out there. What of your parents? My mother ran a successful farm, and I worked for a number of years before I found the chorus. She was a hard, bitter woman, act like the world owed her something. She never talked about my father, though I figured out a thing or two about him later on. He was a merchant from the Northern Empire who took a liking to her, and she him. He stayed around only long enough to get what he wanted. But never mind, my mother never had what you could call taste, so he couldn't have been terribly influential to me if he did stick around. Okay. Did you ever wish you could do things over and end up somewhere other than Kairos Army? That's as name a question as I've ever heard. Kairos is everywhere. If you are in the Overlord's army, you're being trampled by it. Of course, I got a labor on the family farm into my maturing years, married some dolt and littered him a nursery of squealing piglets. Having my body torn to pieces by smaller versions of me sounds like fun. Then one day, when I decided enough was enough, I'd slit my husband's throat over breakfast and run off to join the chorus anyway. My way saved a lot of time. Verse smooths back the feathers in her hair and shakes her head with a smile. Uh, you're a killer. Better to stick with the chorus. Reputation ability, building a reputation. Gain your first reputation ability. We got the combo ability, I guess. You gain enough reputation to unlock a new ability. Open the reputation you have by pressing R to see the new ability available to your character. Most factions have abilities your character can acquire as you build reputation with them. In order to acquire these abilities, you must build enough favor or wrath with the faction. Reputation abilities are only granted to your character and not to other party members. How did you get conscripted? Oh wait, I don't know if we read that last dialogue. I don't. Okay, how did I? I think you have. How did I? I think you have the wrong idea about me. The course didn't take me as a sobbing maid. I strode into the camp and enlisted. Someone tossed me a dented blade. I lived through the initiation, spent a week butchering my neighbors, and moved on with my new kin. I didn't waste time with goodbyes. My mother had long since died, and the rest of my family were louses. The girl I used to be, even she knew that she was worth more than all of them combined. What if your parents? Let's read this again so that I can get that last. Oh, it doesn't. Life before. Okay. What is the significance of your feathers? She has some feathers. I can't really sense it from the. Does the portrait change? It looks like maybe it shifts to different angles. What's the significance of your feathers? Yeah, it does shift. Where's loyalty too? We're getting awfully chummy, so I guess you deserve a story. My mother kept a messenger bird, with a beak. He was an angry old bastard, spoiled from living the high life. Squawked in my window every single night. Pecked my fingers while I fed him only the fattest, juiciest mice. When I left the farm to join Scarlet Chorus, I wrung that ungrateful little fucker like a dish rag, plucked his feathers, and gave his carcass to the mice. It felt like justice. She slides a crimson feather from her hair and spins it in her fingers. I also like how the feathers catch the breeze. Helps me keep my balance, especially when I'm moving fast. She slips the feather among others and smooths it back. Enough questions about your past. Oh, that was just that was just a sub menu for tell me about yourself. Holy shit. Okay, alright. Tell me about your time with the Skull Chorus.
The Scarlet Chorus is mostly for madmen and peasants with rusty daggers, but it's also a little niche of freedom that I never had. Once I survived training and met my Scarlet Fury sisters, I saw a different side of the Howling Mob.
Okay. Skull Fury are mainly sisters, I guess. Tell me about your training. Who are your sisters? Who are the Skull Chorus leaders? Who are the Skull Chorus leaders? Well, Voice of Nat is a spider at the center of the web. He acts like the army belongs to him. He only lends it to Kairos because it suits his purposes, both of which are true. The rest are offshoots of the voices, like the fifth eye. Once you get down to the rank and file, the chorus organizes around a motley bunch of gang bosses who call the show. What do you want to know? Oh god. This another submenu. Tell me about the voice of Nerat. He's a madman, but that never stopped me from following his orders. Even a legion as cutthroat as a chorus, you better know that to get on voice's bad side. You better you know better than to get on the voice's bad side. People who cross him, or just people he meets, don't tend to survive the experience. If he seems disorganized or lost, it's because he's channeling one of the personalities he has devoured over the years. His mannerisms shift over to someone else, someone who's probably long since dead. Better to die than become part of Voice of Narat. Through powers you can't begin to understand, the voice of Nerat steals the minds and knowledge of his victims. You know this happened often during the campaign against the Tears. What he gains from this ability, beyond his apparent madness, is anyone's guess. You know better than to ask him about it directly. He probably gains a lot of knowledge too, right? From the memories of whomever he consumes. What makes voices so powerful? He's an Archon of Secrets, and he didn't earn that title lightly. People say that he knows more than every sage in the tiers combined, and that he can think 1,000 steps ahead of other Archons. Sage, one of the longest surviving schools in the schools of magic in the tiers, the School of Ink and Quill, is a venerable institution devoted to the acquisition and preservation of knowledge, or so the sages profess. Putting more of their energy towards amassing knowledge than disseminating it, they began their scriptorium in 17 TR. And through a series of incremental expansions, the structure became the Vellum Citadel, only to be known as the Burning Library after Kairos' Edict of Fire brought ruination in 430 TR. This is not given in green highlighting. Makes me believe that the burning would have occurred anyway, even if he chose a different. He could choose a couple of different scenarios in the Vellum Citadel part of the conquest, right? But maybe everything leads to it getting burned. Not all sages know magic, but those that have mastered the guild's traditional spells can employ magic of protection and preservation. It's a poorly kept secret that sages have gradually acquired a wide array of magic practiced by rival mage guilds over the generations. Hmm. Okay. Tell me about the fifth eye. A walking nightmare, that one. I couldn't begin to guess who lives under that armor and speaks with that reedy voice, but I'll tell you what I know. When your world is built on secrets, it pays to have a few extra eyes. The voice of Narat has eyes in abundance. Some that he keeps close, others that he sends out in the wilderness. Whoever the fifth eye was before he came into Archon service, now he is a half-mad, jabbering speech hole. A bodily function. In other words, an eye. Oh, another submenu. Hmm. Wait, Nerat's eyes are people? Maybe they used to be people, whatever they were. They're eyes now. Folks likes to Folks like to whisper that voice of Nerat takes his servants and cuts out all the extra parts that they don't need. Okay. She makes a quick snipping gesture with her fingers. I once heard voices and fifth eye in a tent together. The voices kept screaming redundancies every time. Another gout of blood would spray on the canvas wall. I can't even guess what he was cutting out. How many eyes does the Archon of Secrets have? The number keeps changing, either because it grows or because rumors don't mean shit. 3, 7, 19. Some say that all of us are eyes and we don't even know it. She shakes her head in thoughtful disapproval. Wow, look at the portrait. It's thoughtful at least. Back to my other questions. Tell me about the gang bosses. A boss is anyone who can rally enough support to kill the previous boss. They cling to command until someone gets wise and stabs them in the back. Tipcap leads the filthy lambs. Locks lead the rusted harps. Sharp used to lead the bone boys. Couldn't say where he ended up after they broke his legs. Waterwheel orders around the hairy hunters. Holsforshit leads the lazy Malkins. Then Scurvy Queen, Fingerfoot, and Wildgash collectively lead the ladies of perpetual strangulation. I'm forgetting at least a dozen more. I have even led a gang or two in my day. They never survive very long, so no point in getting attached. You led a gang? Don't act so surprised. I can crack a whip better than any of those daisies at the disfavored labor camps. But I was never that interested in power struggle for those grunts and scabs in the middle. I wanted to stand on top like an apex predator. Here I am. So when I got tired of a gang, I disbanded and let the other bosses fight over the new recruits. That much amused me at least. Some of my old mates are still alive, hanging around wherever they ended up. Who are your sisters? Who were they would be more appropriate. Three Whispers, Red Geezer, and Seeking Sheep. Three Whispers. We've heard this name before. I forgot where or in which conversation. Best fighters I've ever met. Maybe we read all three. I don't know. There wasn't a foe we couldn't take down together. Our fighting styles complemented perfectly, so we divided up the killing work like bards sharing a song. At least we used to. She presents a solemn salute. Oh, we can ask about each of them. What happened to them? They were scouting around Vendrian's well during the siege, back when we only suspected the guard of organizing in secret. My sisters and I came upon a group of them, or Kairos knows, maybe they found us. No one said anything. We drew iron and bronze. That was when everything went wrong. I was supposed to take point and occupy the guard with the dance of blade work, something disorienting, while my sisters picked their mark. I hesitated. I lost my nerve. Instead of rushing the Oathbreakers, I froze with my weapon drawn. My sisters fought on without me, but they were off balance, like whatever I had was catching. They died, I lived. My sisters were relying on me to lead the dance, and I failed them. Hmm. Maybe something weird happened. Everyone else failing at the same time, even for a mission they were prepared for. Possibly, I don't know. Caution stayed your hand. I'm not sure. Your actions were inexcusable for a fight of your station. You're absolutely right. If I had witnessed the same in one of my sisters, I might have even killed her for endangering the rest of us. Good thing for me that they didn't get the chance. She chuckles, but there is no humor in it. Hesitation is a rod. It's unbecoming of any chorus member, and unheard of in a Skull Fury. I would cut it from my body and cauterize the wound if I only knew its source. She grimaces once more and turns inwards, contemplating. Any thoughts on the topic, or are we just here to open all wounds? Yeah, any idea why you lost your nerve in battle? I wish I had an explanation. For the first time, I lost the dance. The song of murder drew silent. Instead, there was only rigid, organized control. I had more questions about his sisters, Three Whispers. She was as calm as surface of pond and light on her feet. More than one foe tripped and fell on a blade due to Whisper's crafty footwork. Worse, lets her gaze slip away from you as a fleeting moment of sorrow steals her attention. Red Geezer, a one-woman siege breaker. She would launch herself at her foes like a battering ram. Not even a disfavored phalanx could have withstood that dumb, suicidal wench. Kairos' eyes, but she was something to behold. Verse slams her fist into her palm. Red Geezer seeking sheath. That girl could pass a spear through 12 rings from the far side of a battlefield. Kairos help any foes who approach her marching single file. She made a game of splitting as many soldiers as possible on the same, spitting as many soldiers as possible on the same javelin. Okay,
What do you need to know?
tell me about your training.
For new recruits shoved to the front lines, training means surviving the first battle. Anything beyond that is for the fighters who show potential, whether as blade dancers or arcane madmen.
Okay,
There's nothing in the world like getting put through the paces as a Scarlet Fury. Every day is a test of your commitment and passion. Failure means death. The first few weeks were the hardest, but also the most rewarding. I earned my name, picked up some quality weapons, and met my sisters.
okay. You earned your name. If you think a sample farmer from the TS would name her child Verse, I suggest you visit my old village. Most of them were walking around with surnames like Barrel or Fish. Not the most creative bunch. She smirks and shakes her head. The chorus takes your name away. Whoever you were before, you aren't that person anymore. You earn back a name through great deeds, usually murderous ones. That's why you see a choirman walk around with names like Stingmouse or Face First. That's probably a good reason for it. Nerad gave me this name. When Scarlacorus runs howling into battle, he doesn't hear war. He hears a symphony. And when I fight with the blade or bow, he told me that my music stands out louder than anyone else's and contains too many parts to be easily defined. When you least suspect it, the Archon secrets can be downright charming. She's gonna deny this request, maybe. I don't know. What's your real name? Yeah, you gain fear with words. That question isn't worthy of either of us, but I'll entertain it out of pity. You already know me by my real name. It's worse. Are you looking for whatever arbitrary collection of letters and sounds my mother thought was appropriate when she didn't even know me? Then you're out of luck. I buried that name long ago. Long by my standards, anyway. Yeah. Uh, Tell me about your weapon skills. When I was just a kid, it didn't take me long to realize I was a natural. I could pick up a rusty kitchen knife and skewer a rat from across the room. The Skull Chorus gave me opportunities to further educate myself. My sisters were always a bit surprised by how quickly I took to different fighting styles. She frowns for a moment and then shakes off whatever she wanted to say. Okay, tell me what the Skull is.
The elite fighters of the Scarlet Chorus. Your typical Horde recruit fights with a rusty spoon and a chip on his shoulder, but the Scarlet Furies are, well, different. We focus our madness. We coordinate, we kill, we dance. It's like art. Imagine a sculpture that twisted in weird, beautiful angles, and then gutted you too fast for you to realize what was happening.
Okay. It sounds wonderful. Do you even hear yourself when you talk? I guess if we say that, will get some favor, loyalty.
It is, as I remind myself all the time. The most important day of my life was when the voices of Narat recognized my potential and sent me to Scarlet Fury training.
Alright.
What do you need to know?
Before, you hesitated when you brought up your fighting styles. Why? Reminded you of your sisters, maybe? Notice that, did you? It's a matter that I'm not used to discussing, mostly because I don't know how. I mentioned before that I'm good at picking up different weapons and fighting techniques. The truth is, I'm better than good. I could flay a man so cleanly that I would leave a single strip of skin behind. He wouldn't even need to be tied down. That was one of the first things I discovered about myself after joining the Skull Chorus. Nerad recognized it in me as well, which is why he signed me out for Skull Fury training. Go on. My sisters were the master of their fighting forms, but since they died, my style has changed. Almost like I can kill as they did. I could pick up a bow, a lance, anything really. I could tear someone to pieces with the weapon that I only watched my sisters use. I don't know what it could mean, and that worries me.
For new recruits shoved to the front lines, what do you need to know?
Okay, that line of questioning stops after our first attempt. Okay. There's some mystery there. Let me ask you about something else.
What do you need to know?
Okay, we can ask it here. How is it that you picked up your fallen sister's weapon skills? That's been on my mind for some time, and I still don't have an explanation that fits. I have a few ideas, but worse frowns in deep thought. Skullfuries share a sort of link. It's how we coordinate our dance in the heat of battle. We don't pass messages or anything, but our emotions and intentions sync up without words. She starts worrying one of her knives. After a moment, she sighs and slaps the blade back into its sheath. Maybe she's a war mage. We don't know. But apparently war mage has a special dialogue here. Go on. The one thing I always knew was that I felt this connection more keenly than my sisters did. I could pick up nuances that they missed, and I could feel them from farther away. When my sisters died, I felt each of them getting yanked out of my brain like someone pulling snails from a garden. But some of their slime residue was still there. Does that make any sense? I would take comfort in that. The sisters live on in you. I don't know. Yeah, she does not like that type of. She's really afraid of that type of sensitivity. Your optimism is cute, Fatebinder. It's singular, if singularly useless. It won't bring my sisters back, and it doesn't fix this thing in my head that I don't understand. You have to be really ruthless with her. That's the only way to gain favor or loyalty. You should exploit the skill to its fullest potential. Skill, not sure if I'd call that. There's something parasitic about it. But I take your point. If there's an advantage to this thing I'm experiencing, I'm not about using it against our force. No matter how you paint it, some part of my sister broke off in me when they died, and now I am left to deal with it. Just another day in the tears, right? Hmm. Weird things happening in tears. What are your thoughts on the disfavored? A warn of self entitled children so wound up in delusions of honor, they are likely to hang themselves by their own standards. I wish they had stayed in the Northern Empire where they belong. Then we could get some real work done in the tears. Craven Ash, Disfavored. What are your thoughts on their battle strategies? They've got really got something with that phalanx maneuver. A formation built on holding still, moving forward slowly, and hoping that no one slips in the slips in the mud. That, I don't know if she's being sarcastic or really serious, but that last line is like it's such a unreasonable thing to expect of the soldiers. At best, the disfavored are tired of using the same tactic over and over again. At worst, the enemy knows what to expect out of them. Hmm. Skullfuries are dancers. We hear the music of battle and organize ourselves into works of killing art. Every fight is as hot and passionate as the last, with no room for stale routine. Do you think Disfavored have a chance to succeed in the TS? Speaking as one of the expectations, speaking as one of the exceptions, most of the most of the TMN are pushovers. The people of Stalwart seem capable enough, though I have my doubts. You might call them Disfavored's best challenge. Hmm. Even if they succeeded, they might be too late to redeem themselves. The cores have already impacted the conquest more than Disfavored have, or likely ever will. What do you think? What do you think of their leader, Graven Ash? I've seen enough of that high-minded bragger to know that he's all duty, nothing but a charismatic, broad-shouldered scarecrow. He calls himself Archon of War, though by the way he stalls his forces waiting for a better strategy to present itself, you'd think he's afraid of battle. You would think that someone more deserving would take Ash's mantle from him, but the deserved have this cult of personality built around their great general. In their eyes, he can do no wrong. Who do you see take Ash's place? I'd rather let the disfavored sort it out among themselves. Given Ash is his aging figurehead of what should be a constantly changing role. The right soldier needs to go up there and kill the old man, kick his cane out from under him, remind the legion what strength looks like. Nerad changes. He's a multifaceted gem. The Skull Course is a reflection of that beauty. If someone could rise up and strike down the voices, any of us would follow them in a heartbeat. What about Ash's connection to his troops? He has this magic that protects them, right? Ash's aegis or something. Gaven protects. His soldiers keep harping on those words like they mean something. I don't deny that Disfavored can take a few extra lumps on the battlefield, but that only speaks to their thick-headedness. If anything, it's only true because the soldiers place that much trust in it. I've seen the power of suggestion do stranger things to people. It's like a placebo effect. Stranger than heal battlefield wounds? I don't think so. Could that be possible? It, sorry. We're talking about a man who's centuries old and wears glowing armor. You tell me. I suppose you have a better idea how to handle the disfavored forces? Of course I do. First, I'd stop babying the troops. Pain is a lesson best learned early. I'd conscript from the locals to bolster the front lines because why waste your elite on the vanguard? Then I'd leave any misplaced ethics back in the Northern Empire. They're not helping Cairo's campaign anyway, so fuck them. Okay. Hmm. You take away everything that makes them strong. Excellent. You'd make them more like Skull Cores. Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah, again, it's fear. It's a damn fine alternative from where I'm standing. If all that strength couldn't end a siege, what good is it to anyone? Would that be so wrong? The chorus is accountable for itself in ways that Disfavored aren't. Our weak die and strong fight to keep their rank. The Disfavored promote their waning bloodline and discipline any soldier with audacity to show their teeth, though they'd never admit it. The Disfavored need the chorus to show them the way. Uh, what do you think of those who defy Kairos' authority? Yeah, this isn't a. She's very favorable towards the fighting styles and uh, hierarchies and everything that Scarlet Chorus has established. But Kairos has not come into picture yet. I don't think she cares about Kairos at all. She just wants to battle, and Scarlet Chorus is a perfect fit for her. I don't think. Yeah, let's see. What do you think of those who defy Kairos' authority? The TS man can either fight or submit to Kairos' peace, and only one of those options captures my interest. I suppose I appreciate when they go down fighting. If they did otherwise, I would need to find another excuse to flay them. They need to understand whether we unify TS under a shared banner or at the bottom of a mass grave makes little difference to you, me, or Kairos. Did you fight any notable battles? I spent some time in Ashur towards the end of the war. Beastmen ripped my unit apart. We thought they might be walking under Kane's orders. I forgot who Kane was. Ah, he was turned into, he was petrified, right? Okay. But we never found out for sure. Interesting you of the conquest. It's a pragmatic one anyway. The Skullcore caught onto the idea at the beginning of the campaign. If no one objects that we are here to carve a bloody path for gain and amusement, then by all accounts that is our purpose. Besides, unification is such a vague concept that Kairos allows Disfavored and Chorus to interpret it as they will. The Overlord is concerned with results. I'm happy to focus on the details, especially if that means cutting off a farmer's legs while his family watches the land burn. She smiles at a pleasing memory. We only have two options. There's no way to like silently back out of it. No, there isn't. Fatebinder, I suspect that we are going to make something great together. A line of bodies stretching as far as the old walls. Old walls. It's going to be beautiful. She looks at you with renewed interest. I have thoughts about your combat abilities.
Do you now? Call me intrigued. You already know that I memorized the moves of my Scarlet Fury sisters. If it seems like a total mystery to me, I don't know how you could have arrived at any conclusions, but I'm open to ideas.
So if we had enough lore, we could maybe give her like a more reasonable and maybe even genuine answer. Maybe we would have enough understanding to see what's happening here. Did you take their fighting moves or the memory of their fighting moves? Remind you of anyone? Reminds. It's reminiscent of Narad's ability, right?
If you want to split hairs over it, you could argue that I took their instincts, their reactions, but I failed to see. Wait. Are you trying to compare me to the voices of Narat? The voices of Narat is a monster. We both know that Taratus has never seen a creature more despicable than him. Never mind that he's kind of my boss.
Think about it. He absorbs the mind of his victims. Not comparing to the voices, only this talent you exhibit.
My little talent that latches onto my friends and bleeds them dry, you mean? Because I never asked for it.
Wait, what? Really? It never bleeds them dry. It happened only after they died, you know?
I've traveled with the chorus for years. I've seen what the voices can do, and it scares me, all right? The idea that everything I am could be reduced to that.
Why is she so scared right now? She was like very strong and hard-headed woman, and right now she's like really shaking at the idea that she would have something in common with the voices.
If I had that kind of power, if I could become like him, I don't know how I could live with myself. I'd rather drown myself in a camp latrine.
This is really conflicting though, because every other instinct that she exhibits is similar to kind of the despicable nature that Narat might have. Yeah, why such an aversion? You don't have to become like him, just be selective. Yeah, why such an aversion?
Because the voices isn't. I mean, can you even call him human anymore?
Okay, your thoughts are also pretty extreme.
Everything I am has led me to this point. I joined the chorus, fought to survive, grew stronger than I ever knew I could be. I never needed to steal anything that made me, me. I don't want to be better by being someone else. The Voices is stronger than anyone and terrifying enough to lead the chorus, but he's also an overgrown parasite. And someday he'll stuff himself so full of voices that he'll burst.
Okay. We can leverage same kind of arguments about your instincts. So this seems really bigoted to question Narat or like judge Narat in such a negative light. The version isn't so bad. Give it a chance.
If you think so highly of him, you should be bowing at his throne and serving the chorus. Between the two of us, I'm the authority on how terrible he can be.
Okay.
My sisters died. You should have seen us. We were amazing together. I didn't mean to take away what made them special, but I did it all the same. And let me tell you, it felt terrible.
Okay. I'm not buying any of it because you've said so many extreme things earlier. None of the sentimentality strikes true.
If I lived a century, I might never figure out how to make that happen again. And more importantly, I don't want to.
Alright, we'll talk again later. I don't know if this duel option is... I don't even know how to fight properly, so we'll come back to the duel later. Yeah, so reputation ability unlocked versus loyalty ability, death from above. Journal. Quest primary. Reputation verse. Okay. You need a reputation change of major strength to unlock this tier. Reputation change of major strength. Versus upheld by your orderly, honorable ways. Yeah, that's what scares her. She's loyal, but she's also fearful. Okay. Spell creation, yeah, we haven't touched that. Oh, that took a while. Let's quick save. I'll take a break and then we'll slowly progress. But yeah, that was a lot of reading. Let's see. All right, let's move on.
Right.
Who do we have here? Step. Oh God. Can I see the dialogue? Step closer and present yourself. Cool. We can see even this dialogue in the what's it called? Chat log. That's cool. Let's go to the periphery first. Oh, we can see animals, boars and deers. We can't interact with them. Maybe can't go near them. This leads to a different map, probably. Disfavored camp. Doesn't say where it leads. The 3 different exits. Does this lead to a different exit? Probably leads to the same exit, I think. So I'm coming back after a day of break. That last conversation kind of took the wind out of me. So I took a break and came back. Right. This map is... I really like the graphics. God, it's so pleasant to see.
Sorry, I can't. Sorry, I can't.
Oh, there's a window. What the hell? Right, did we miss anything here? We didn't. There could also be hidden objects. So if we sneak... How do we sneak? Left alt?
Cautiously.
Alright. So if we sneak, then there's a chance we'll detect hidden objects sooner or easier. Right. Let's talk to the fellows here. Stone shield and stone shield. This is the disfavored camp. The gate guard holds up a warning hand. Go no further. You approach disfavored ground. State your business. I am Sirius Brennan, Fatebinder of Tunon. I bring words from Kairos, words for your commander's ears. So you are the fire starter. In 430 TR, the final year of the conquest of the Tears, the sages of the Vellum Citadel were expected to surrender without a fight. When the sages violently defended themselves in a prolonged siege, Kairos unleashed an edict of fire, reducing the library fortress to smoldering ruins. You were given the honor of proclaiming this edict of fire. And to those present, you are often known as the fire starter. Though your orders left it vague as to when you should proclaim the edict, you chose to give the sages a few hours' warning. The Scarlet Quarter soldiers seemed fine with your decision, claiming they had spies among the sages who deserved to escape. But the disfavored viewed the decision more coldly and considered coddling the enemy. Savers and the company's Sevius. I don't know how to save us. Sevius. Sevius and the companies returning from the burning library are telling some harrowing stories about Kairos' edict of fire. I think myself brave, but I'm happy to have been far away from it all. Must have been a terrifying honor to be the messenger of such righteous force. Go on in, the soldier gestures towards the gate. The Archons are expecting you. You'll find them in the war tent, center of camp. Archons plural, so is someone else other than the Graven Ash here? Graven Ash is an Archon, he's a leader of Disfavored, but an Archon could exist without being a leader of anything, right? So there could be some unallied or like not directly related to Disfavored, some Archon who's here. Rona, Pentibor. We can observe something here, interact with something here. The table is lined with various medicinal herbs. It would appear that they have been carefully rationed. Okay. What is this? Armor rack. Auto looted. Okay. Stone shield armor. Rogue leathers. Opportunist. What was opportunist? I forgot what opportunist was. But this is stone shield armor. Okay. What we have is rogue's leather, which is in our inventory here. Opportunist, 20% bonus damage on bleeding, burning, daze, mage fire, hobble, paralyzed, etc. enemies. Are there more stuff we can wear in party stash? Scarlet Fury helm, we should give it to her. Potion of protection is something we can equip here. +2 armor. Cool. Oh, no, don't. Come on, game. Oh, shit. I think I used it. I was right-clicking on it to examine it further, but I don't know. What happened? And how do I scroll the party stash? I don't. I open it here. Alright. So, portion of protection is probably gone. Light leather gauntlets compared to ceremonial fate binder of tune-on gloves. It is better. It's fine quality. Damage versus parry, unarmed attack. Oh, these are okay. These are just not. These are also a kind of like attack weapon since we are unarmed. I thought this is just armor, but it's also a gauntlets. Okay, so let's use leather gauntlets instead. How do we? Oh, we can just drop it there. Vendrian guard heavy bronze greaves. I'm What would be the advantage of using leather versus... Because there's no equip load or anything, right? So this will straight up give us more defense, but maybe recovery is slower. Maybe. But it isn't that, it's plus 1 second recovery and a little bit less deflection. That's it. Everything else is better. We have javelins, blood moss. Defense against bleeding attacks. Quick finger bangles. +1 quickness. Okay, this will be good. I don't know if we can wear bangles as well as gauntlets at the same time. Potion of invisibility. Let me very carefully drop it here. Let's not touch sigils for now. Whetstone. 2 armor penetrated by attacks for 300. 2 armor penetrated by attacks for 300 seconds. Soldiers use whetstones to sharpen their blades, increasing the damage inflicted upon their foes. Oh, sorry. This piece shows the scratches and scrapes evidenced in a long career of servicing. So it increases the armor penetration for 300 seconds. Could come in handy. Alright. We can use this instead of light leather gauntlets. 7 to 10 crush. 12 to 15 crush. 3 deflection, +1 precision, +3 unarmed DPS. Great. What about this? This can be an accessory, I guess. Okay, that increases our quickness. Hopefully increase our recovery. This is 2.5. What about Verse? Verse is so fast. She's 1.8. 0.5 recovery, 0.2 and 0.2. 0.25, 0.25. Why is her recovery so low? Her weapon recovery is 0.25. It does not add up. Even though she has 2 weapons of 0.25 recovery, it's still 0.25 as a total. And armor recovery is 5 plus 2 plus 2. So that's 0.9. Okay. Oh, weapon recovery and armor recovery are separately tracked, but base recovery is 1 second. Okay. Okay. Doesn't this add up to larger than 1.8 if we add all 3? It should be above 2, right? Does she have anything that reduces her recovery? I don't know. Let's give her that helmet that we picked up. Okay. That increases her recovery to 2 seconds. Yeah, if it's just 1.14 at armor recovery and 1 second for base recovery, even that is above, that's 2.1. It'll be 2.35 if we add all 3. So I don't know what is reducing her quickness here. Deflection. Isn't there something called precision also? Anyway, let's look at it in detail later. Let's talk to Pentibor. Hail to you, guardian of the law. The man dressed in merchant finery greets you with a smile. If you have a few excess rings weighing you down, best unburden yourself before battle. You know that if Disfavored suffer a merchant in their camp, that must be a man selling only the finest provisions and armaments. He points to his collection of shields, rations, satchels, wineskins, and other sundries. Take a look and see if something interests you. Wow, lots of restrictions for us here. Soldier, noble scion, soldier, diplomat, lawbreaker. Might you take a closer look in one of those crates? Standard inspection procedure. How did you come to work with Disfavored? Hard work and good suppliers. The Tunon's men came to my village. All the merchants were given different lists of what they were or weren't permitted to trade. He smiles, hands on hips. In Kairos' wisdom, my record must have been a good one, because I was given the right to trade all manner of goods, most importantly arms. Not a lot of merchants can legally sell weapons. It was like that even before Kairos. Let me see your wares. Pendibo rubs his hands, eyes alight. Let's see if we can find something you might like. Bronze axe, dagger, fish. Okay, we'll come back here later. We'll maybe examine his stuff later too. Because right now, yeah, let's just familiarize ourselves with the environment before rummaging through people's supplies. Got no time to chitter. Too much armor to mend. Speak to Uncle Pentipo if you have rings to trade. Okay, cool. She's her assistant. She's his assistant. Barrack. Okay, he's looking at some sort of training area. Oh god. Okay. Yeah, I think my cursor is going off screen when I scroll, so let me see if I can prevent that. Hide off screen pointers, maybe? No, that's not it. Screen edge scrolling. Enable scrolling camera by moving to edge of screen. Yeah, when I try to do this, it just moves away from my monitor, which isn't good. Earlier, it used to stick to the window itself, so I don't know what just happened. And I think this hide off screen pointers is some other option which will prevent us from seeing something that's barely off screen, right? If we come here, we can, yeah, this is what I thought off screen pointers were. But I think the scrolling issue is fixed now. I can, yeah, let's see. What is this dummy? This sparring dummy shows the deep gorges of hard use. These spears are uniform in their quality craftsmanship. The wood used for these parapets is pristine and finely cut. These walls have yet to see any battle. Okay, that's useful information. These arrows were fleshed with precision and care. Will we find some spears here? Imbued rod of strength, two-handed. Control vigor, magic staff. Okay, cool. God, at some point we'll have to kind of delve into magic, which is kind of scary. You can't make out the ironclad soldier's expression under his twisted helmet. He merely stares at you. Oh, that's not what he said. It's just his expression. Okay, alright, cool. There's someone here. Soldiers resting. I'm itching to get back on the battlefield. Cool. There's a blacksmith here. Quest updated. Conqueror's will. Sheesh. Consumes portion of protection.
Sorry, I can't. Can't do that.
Oh god. Right. Subterfuge lock. I'm not sure if people will be pissed off if we try to unlock it.
Got it.
Got it. Light bronze ridge helm. +1 armor. Everything else is low. You can take it. Sell it off to someone else later. Isotanis. Isotanis curses the air as a blade of thin iron breaks in half beneath his armor. Repairing weapons with scrap isn't exactly why I got into this craft. But our supplies are spent. He wipes the sweat from his brow and gets a better look at you. Why not forge bronze? Bronze will do in a pinch, don't get me wrong. He can take a beating and get bent back into shape, unlike this stubborn iron we have here. He glanced at a pile of his work with dread. And we always have plenty of tin and copper lying around, so supplies aren't the problem. It's a rare smith who can churn out military-grade bronze consistently. More often than not, it comes out soft. Look around camp. We are grabbing the Legion head to toe in iron. We are garbing the Legion head to toe in iron because it's cheaper and easier to produce for the masses. Couldn't do that with bronze. Isn't iron also stronger than bronze? They call the Disfavored the Iron Legion for a reason. Strategy and skill may be our backbone, but our claws are made of iron. The good stuff that comes from smiths in Lathian's Crossing. You mentioned an iron shortage? I'm afraid so. The last shipment sent down the Matani went missing near Ekokol Crossing, and I'm afraid we won't be seeing any more now that the valley is sealed. Forge-bound iron is Junon's responsibility. Why is this the first time hearing of it? Keep your voice down. Isitonis flinches and lowers his own. Grave and Ash doesn't want to cause a panic or pass any information to the Vendrian guard. Best case scenario, the iron tumbled off a board and is rusting on the riverbed. Worst case, it ends up in enemy's hands. Okay, that's fair enough. If I find myself in Echo Call, I suppose I can keep an eye out. What an embarrassing display of incompetence. Count me out. Yeah. They could have secretly sent word to. I mean, maybe it's not important enough. You know? I appreciate that. As is a great general, more than you might guess. Maybe he isn't quick to offer his thanks to outsiders, but I know he'll be grateful for your help. It'd be a boon to the war effort if our iron was recovered. I'm here to help, even if that means cleaning up the Archons' mess. I don't know if they'll get us disfavored. Yeah, see, we got wrong because no need to solve the wound, Fatebinder. None of us is mistaken in thinking that the siege is gone exactly as planned. Okay. He glances to a crate beside him and points to a small set of notches on the wood. You see that? That's how we tell apart our iron shipments from the rest. Inconspicuous, so people don't go snooping around. You'll want to keep your eye out for these. Good hunting. Okay. So you have to look out for those notches. I'd like to see your wares. New quest: Forge-bound iron. Explore Ekokol Crossing for clues to the missing shipment of iron. We'll have to sell him something. How do we sell him? Okay, we can trade it here. We can get rid of our armor, but seems important because it is given to us by Tunon. So maybe hold on to it for now. Yeah, we have a bunch of javelins and other stuff. Okay. Do we have to? I hope they'll just give us this money. Yeah, they do. Cool. So that's Isatonis. Okay. The map seems small enough. Maybe we'll have to move to a separate map later. Oh, is this a prison cell? Fresh straw in the corner of this prison cell absorbs much of the stench. Oof. Is there anyone inside? No. Stone shield. The Oathbreakers already had their chance. No using wasting cell space on traitors of Kairos. Oh, they just kill them directly. They don't keep them in prisons. Who's this guy? Don't mind me. I'm just watching the troops. You're falling asleep. Is this some sort of execution stage? Wow. Patrolling guards. Bitter quip. Locked.
Got it.
Okay. More leather armor. Merchant's tunic. Okay. It is. Oh, it requires no recovery, but it has no armor. No, yeah, no armor at all, and no deflection, or very little deflection. Scroll, lesser sigil of strength. Seems maybe we'll be able to use it. Lesser sigil of strength. This one? No, this one. Yeah, we may be able to use this scroll. It's high enough. Our lore is high enough. It doesn't have that red color, right? Yeah. So if we go here, we have our lore at 26. We can barely use it. Bitter Quip. Okay, this is probably another major guy. Glory to the voice of Nerat, projecting his salutation for all to hear. The grinning bloodchander raps his staff against the ground as he approaches. Pathfinder's serious Brennan, I presume? His smile quickly retreats, giving way to a sour scowl. I am Bitter Quip. I am here as the emissary of the Scarlet Chorus. Bitter Quip looks at you impatiently. What is it like working with the Disfavored? He scoffs, looking away from you for a moment before sniffing and returning his attention to you. Reporting to the Iron Hag is an insult. She fought one duel for a title, one. Her leadership must be continuously proven, earned, and defended. Weakness should bleed to the bottom of the army, not to rise to the top. So Iron Hag is someone within the Disfavored camp. My assignment here is also an insult, but one I'll bear for the good of the chorus. Bitterquip sniffs the air, smiling with one side of his mouth. If only to see, with my own eyes, the failure as a disfavored. This will be a fine day. What can you tell me of the Skull Chorus? The chorus is the future of the tears. I feel only derision and pity for those who fear our inevitable ascension. Bitterquip looks at you with a raised eyebrow. What in particular would you like to know? Oh, we can ask extra questions. Tell me about Nerat. He is supreme commander and public servant. He who set us free but directs souls. Bitterquip smiles as he talks, his face turning flush. Nerat is the epitome of what each of us can be, a magician without equal and the leader of uncountable numbers. The voices and chorus are one, conquering, expanding, growing, changing, always stronger. Bitterquip pounds his staff on the ground. Glory to the voices. Okay. How did you come to join the Skull Chorus? Doctrine of Strength speaks to me, and I answered its call, as did some of my arcane peers. I took to the chorus almost instantly. Unlike most, I cried not for the life of comfort lost to me. My magic invokes fear and terror, and I easily established my dominance over the pack in my early days in the chorus. If you're so curious about it all, Bitterquip smiles, lifting an eyebrow, perhaps you should visit our camp and see for yourself. What's your role in the chorus? I am a bloodchander. My magic can turn the will of man and tide of battle. I've held command for 3 years now, though being forced to keep an eye on the disfavored is not the reward I envisioned for my service thus far. I didn't realize, it took me a while to register that he's from the different faction, just, here to collaborate, at least ostensibly. Sounds as if you really like the voice of Nerat. Bitterquip blinks several times, scowls, says nothing. That's all for now. Notes to depart. Cool. A meager portion of game simmers in the large copper pot. Fragrant spices attempt to mask the potent smell of whatever creature they've decided to cook. Okay, we can go inside. Cool. We can lie down. Lucia and Marcus. I'm Lucia, this is Marcus. The disfavored soldier points to the armored man next to her. And you must be the Fatebinder? From under her helmet, you hear an audible scoff. We've been assigned to babies. Okay, he's going to cut her off. Assigned to your hospitality, Marcus quickly interjects, while you remain on disfavored ground. If you should need a place to rest, we can make the necessary preparations. Cool. You can rest here, I guess. Marcus, tell me about yourself. Not sure this much to tell you. I trained at Fort Resolution. This is my first campaign, and I'm proud to be with the Legion. I was wounded at the gates of judgment, but Gavin Ash's protection mended me good. I owe my life to him. Are you bragging that you let your guard down and took a spear to your gut? You really shouldn't boast about a filthy tiersman besting you in battle. Lucia rolls her eyes. Huh. He's kind of, he's like, meh, whatever. You're just bitter that Lord Ash never seems to notice you. Okay. She's always ready to pick a fight. In all seriousness, I would take that spear again if it brought honor to the Disfavored. Kairos knows we could use it. We are all the elite fighters in the Northern Army, but somehow we still lack the Overlord's confidence. He shakes his head and sighs. Yeah, they have to earn their favor back, right? Lucia, tell me about yourself. I do this. She unenthusiastically lifts up a heavy shield, and I do this. She mockingly stabs at the air with a spear. Lucia shrugs. Playing host is not my strong suit. Ignore my sarcasm. I've seen the Legion through my share of campaign. After so much bloodshed, our pretenses of honor can weigh me down. She turns a cautious eye on your way. The North is my home, and I consider each and every one of the ironclad bastards in this camp to be family. You won't find another army where each member of the phalanx is as beloved and cherished as the next. Okay. He seems handy with a weapon, Lucia. Insufficient reputation. And a thing or two about spitting foes who was stupid enough to challenge me. What of it? Okay. We can't. I guess this is an attempt at challenging here. How have your skills fared in battle against the Oathbreakers, Marcus? Insufficient reputation. Wait, is this all a ruse? Did Tunan send you to test the army's training and grades? Because I won't stand for it. Okay. If we have enough reputation, I think we can challenge them. I don't even know how the challenge is going to work. We have to test it out the verse at a later time. What's it like? What's it like saving the Disfavored? In spite of a name, the Legion commands more honor than any military on the face of Terratus. Unlike the Chorus, there's tradition, discipline, teamwork, and unity of purpose. Marcus looks out across the camp. There aren't many of us, but it's better that way. We are a tightly knit family, bound together by trust and glory. If the Legion boasts so much honor, why are they disfavored? Insufficient reputation. I'm afraid that isn't for me to say. Others around the camp might be able to tell you more, but I don't freely discuss the Grey General's history to outsiders. I don't know which reputation is required here. Is it disfavored? Is it Graven Ash? I don't think this is an important enough individual to have his own reputation to be tracked, like reputation with us or our reputation with him to be tracked. This is probably either disfavored or with Graven Ash. But you'll say that it involves the Grey General, which is already a telling clue. Idiot. Okay. Yeah, okay. She calls him out. She's very ruthless. Marcus, I'd like some training. Lucy, I could do some training. Cool. Let's quick save first before trying the training route with them. I don't even know if that leads to... Of course, Fatebinder. Marcus pounds his fist on his armor in salute. Party member, skill training. We can select a party member. Okay. We can increase parry by 3. Is it? No. We have 3 out of 45 for parry. No, we can train any of these 3. Okay, I see. It requires 4 copper rings. Requires 9. One-handed, two-handed, and parry. Do we use parry when we use unarmed combat? I think it's mostly dodging that we use. I think unarmed... I don't know if there's a way we can figure that out right now. I guess we can go to missives. No. I think we can go to... where is it? Journal? No. Should be somewhere here. Okay, we can go here and... Oh, where is it? Okay, it's here, I think. Encyclopedia. There isn't a search function, so we'll have to Go down and see. Character statistics, combat mechanics, afflictions, boons, equipment, locations, lore, tips, hotkeys. Okay, maybe it's character statistics. I'm checking for unarmed. So if you go to unarmed combat, it determines effectiveness of unarmed attacks. Higher skill values lead to more accurate attacks, increasing the chance of critical strikes. Dodge. Dodge skill defense against ranged attacks from bows, javelins, or magic spells. Higher skill ranks will reduce damage taken or even cause enemy. Okay. Bows, javelins, magic spells. So parry is skill defense against melee attacks and spells. Higher skill ranks will reduce damage from enemy attacks and may lead them. Okay. Yeah, we'll figure it out later, I guess. Because I remember reading one of the primary expertise, so one of the expertise we had shifts the role of dodge or parry with dodge. Maybe it was for unarmed. But yeah, I don't know how to figure that out right now. Let's talk to Lucia to see her training. Finally, some fun to break up the monotony of this siege. Okay, she can teach us athletics and no one can teach us unarmed. Dodge might be good. Okay, how much did it increase? By the way, I didn't. Athletics. Oh, it's just 1 point. It went from 19 to 20. What the hell? And 20 to 21. Okay, so that's pretty costly for a single. I mean, I don't know if it's
Found
costly,
something.
but Archon awaits you inside, Patebinder. It's a hidden object here. It's not hidden. This is hidden. Water. Bronze dagger. And topaz. Cool. So there's no way to go here. Oh, there is. Okay. Just making my rounds. They are patrolling. Carefully skinned game hang from this branch. They appear sickly and malnourished. Oh, okay.
Got it.
Lesser healing potion. Cool. Keep an eye on those skull cores over there. Or we didn't talk to this person. Alright, if something's empty, I guess it shows up as white. Or if we have already interacted with it. Let's talk to Horde. I can't wait to get out of this camp. Okay, so I guess these two people are skull cores.
Sorry, I can't.
Okay, yeah, let's go in. The subterfuge skill can be used to bluff or deceive characters in conversation. Yesterday, you chided me for wishing to wait. Now you suggest an even longer delay. Perhaps a voice in your skull ought to come to a consensus if you wish to be taken seriously. Good advice is flexible, changing at the moment. Besides, now we are agreeing with yesterday. Yesterday, you. Today, okay. We'll read it once this is done. You know, we can pause and read it. That'll be easier. So if you look at the dialogue. Yesterday you chided me for wishing to wait. Now you suggest an even longer delay. Perhaps a voice in your skull ought to come to a consensus if you wish to be taken seriously. Good advice is flexible, changing at the moment. Besides, now we are agreeing with yesterday you. Today you should be happy. We know you hate going into battle without overwhelming odds on your side. If you're so terrified of a challenge, why not wait for your reinforcements? I don't need your heckling. I need your scouting reports. Or better yet, confirmation you quelled the Oathbreakers in the outer valley. For that, we'll solve it in our own time and way. We must make at least a token effort to show them mercy after all. Mercy? They've already shat upon our mercy once before. These Gutterbones, South Knobs, deserve nothing better than death. Oh, calm down now. You must leave something to rule. Or have you forgotten Kairos' orders? Patience, old chum. Well, Kairos wants to speed things up now. Okay, it looks like we paused at the very end of the conversation anyway. Iron Marshal Erinios. Okay. Lots of interactable stuff. This battle report from Echo Hall Crossing blames the failure of the assaults on the village on sorry. Yeah, it still goes away even if you pause, so it's not that useful. Assault on the village on Skull apparently. Their scouts failed to report critical intelligence about enemy composition. Blames assault battle report. This is the area where we lost that iron shipment too. So this is a report. I thought this was some sort of dining table, but it's just a report. What else? Fifth Eye. Oh, this is the one of the commanders. Subterfuge. This is open. I think it's okay enough for us to run around and damage here. Oh no, it starts a cutscene.
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tearsmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
Okay. The Archon of War pounds his staff on the ground to punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with, his profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with mystic energy.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
Okay, so I had to pause and look up some words. I have created a shortcut for pausing the OBS recording right when we are playing something, so it's easier to do now. I didn't realize that was possible, but I can hit a couple of keys and it will pause the recording as well as mute my mic so that I can clear my throat. So that's nice. Oh, again I had to cough. But yeah, perfidious. That means treacherous. And yeah, it looks like Earthshakers. These are their Archon was petrified by Kairos, right? Because of his treachery. And now Voice of Narat is suggesting that Earthshakers who apparently might be working under Voice of Graven Ash might also be treacherous themselves because their previous Archon must have poisoned their minds. And we would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing. Okay, I guess this will give us some context. Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks. Can we see it? Emerald luminescence twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. You hear the voice in your head. Well, hello there, Fatebinder. We'll be with you in just a moment. That's cool. Emerald luminescence seeps. They're using this green like highlighting in a very creative way here. Maybe we'll see even more examples of that. I didn't expect to see something. It's like a fourth wall breaking moment right here where, yeah, interesting. Emerald luminescence seeps from the seams of Archon's ragged red robes. The red glow is most noticeable when his neck where his neck ought to be. His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally. Okay. This is just, he's not human at all. This is some amalgamation of all these creatures that he has
Hey,
consumed.
watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
Okay. Verse whispers fearfully as she beholds Archons. Clear your throat, remain silent. Okay, let's remain silent and observe.
I always know you've run out of things to say when you resort to mocking my vassals. If we are to speak of treachery, why is it that my scouts see the Scarlet Chorus warriors defecting back to the Vendrian Guard? Your fearsome reputation has gone flaccid, for it seems you cannot control your soldiers, or perhaps you simply choose not to.
Okay, they're just starting to accuse each other. My lord, the Fatebinder has arrived. The disfavored commander raises her voice, trying with little success to speak over the Archons. Perhaps you could table the discussion and let our guest speak?
Speaking of strategic failures, who was it that insisted the valley would need only a token garrison? For some strange reason, we can't seem to recall which balding halfwit grossly underestimated the enemy. Thoughts?
The Archon of Secrets twists his scepter in a twirling loop. Hear the voice in your head. Can you hear us, Fatebinder? Cuff if we have your attention. He wants to form some sort of secret pact with us while he's arguing. He has like so many. Yeah, he can multitask, I guess. His leather-up hands flipping his heavy rod with an effortless flow. We can cuff audibly. We'll try to like cozy yourself up with everyone we can. Let's see. Cuff audibly.
And I thought you had left agents within these Tearsmen when they surrendered. Either you failed to see this coming, or you knew and let it happen. Incompetent or in cahoots, either way, this mess has your filthy stink all over it.
The Archon of War lurches forward, resting his waist on his warmore as blue luminescence crackles around his armor.
We look forward to seeing you explain to Tunon why the Archon of War could not close the vice on this trivial little insurgency. When we are crowned the ruler of the Tears, we shall have this place renamed to Ash's Folly in your honor.
That sounds like a realistic name for the setting. The voice of Nerat tosses a scepter into the air. Good, good. Now pay attention. You might miss something. Okay. Catching it as it descends back down. Remain silent.
If I could trust the information I get from you and your conscripted mouth breathers, perhaps I'd order my cohorts around a bit more aggressively. But last time I trusted your all-clear report, my troops failed to come home.
Oh, Ash, old boy. If you're going to have a little sob every time one of your nieces or nephews dies to the Tearsmen, perhaps we should have Siren sing you some calming lullabies to help you cope with your grief.
Flips his scepter 3 times around. Take care that you don't learn too much, Fatebinder. An extra of knowledge of curiosity even can earn unwanted attention. Okay, we should probably stop snooping and just interrupt. That's what he's like suggesting. Siren is Archon of Song and the youngest Archon sent to conquer the Tears. Young and inexperienced, Siren is sworn to the voice of Nerat, who used the powers of charm and manipulation to swell the ranks of Scarlet Chorus with volunteers. Hold your tongue. I will not have you denigrate the honor of our fallen brethren. The commander's hand moves to the hilt of a blade, though the weapon stays sheathed. I'd be doing us all a favor if I cracked open that excuse for a head. They bicker like children, do they not? Fifth eye. The fifth eye granting tenor pierce. The fifth eye's grating tenor pierces the tension in the tent, and all eyes land on the crimson spear. I meant only to say welcome. Welcome to our guest, the Fatebinder. Crimson spear. Oh, everyone looks at him, and so he has to kind of divert. The armor retainer bows with rushed inelegance, then rises to your salute, and not a moment too soon. You gain favor with both of them. Oh, thanks. Iron Marshal Erinos. You're on a serious penance. Long have you been honored by your iron. Now we are honored by your presence. I must apologize for my lord's timbers run. I must apologize for my lord's timbers run high of late. Boy to the Archons, apologies for the sudden entrance. I've traveled long to be here.
Ah, the fire starter has arrived. Welcome, welcome. Our agents tell us such lovely stories of what you did at the Vellum Citadel. Have you come bearing another fragment of Kairos' wrath in tow?
Yeah, we have. I don't know if Voice of Night will be able to predict it or he'll be surprised when he hears of the edict. And we got a bunch of reputation gain and loss at the same time. Even like conflicting ones, we gained and then lost, I think.
My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Edring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kairos demands of us all.
Kairos doesn't care about camaraderie. On the last of his words, the Archon of War glares at Nerat, following his brow as he utters the word camaraderie. I come bearing an edict of Kairos.
For the second time, Brother Tunon selects you for the glory of proclamation. You should be honored. Tell us, what has the Overlord decided to unleash upon the Oathbreakers?
It's not just the Oathbreakers. The Overlord's loyal servants must hold Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords, or all in the valley shall perish. Okay. It seems you need some encouragement to work together. Kairos' edict will end the lives of everyone in this valley unless Ascension Hall is claimed by Kairos' Day of Swords. In honor of your incompetence and disarray, the edict will execute every living thing in this valley unless Ascension Hall is taken by Kairos' Day of Swords. Let's go to the first one. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment. It's every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens and the muscles in your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountains, feel renewed. The tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor. Okay. Is the proclamation over? If we just say, does it become active immediately or do we have to do some ritual later? Oh god. Okay, I think that confirms.
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive.
Yeah, these people will be unfazed even with such a fate hanging above them.
We'll need to advance across the Matani. We lose everything if we stand still. And we move to back up Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time. So we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
So the Earthshakers were coming from outside to maybe help with the siege. But I don't know if Kairos was aware of that because it could have helped. But his avalanche prevented them from coming further in, I think. Music has changed. The Archon of War taps a finger against his temple. A low rumble escapes from under his beard.
So you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? The baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
There was a record for you. Archon Secret passed his scepter from one hand to the next, chuckling softly with each toss. Watch him scream, so many tears over replaceable, expendable, useless soldiers. I miss the old Archon of War. You'd never see a blood echo in a blubbering mess, or a few dead killers. He'd used a knuckle bone of his best disciples for jewelry and even made a breastplate out of his dead brother's ribcage. Because that's how a real man deals with grief. Okay. Huh. How did you draft? It's your indecision and bickering that necessitated this edict. Learn to work together or we are all doomed. They call you Archon of Secrets, but you certainly don't seem to know anything remotely useful. I think it'll gain us more disfavor with the Narat, so let's not do that. We can kind of push this now, I think. Learn to work together or we're all doomed.
The Fatebinder is right. We're acting not as leaders, but as children. I've no time for your foolish japes and petty taunts. We should focus on the objective at hand, and that is taking the Matani River, and then advancing to Ascension Hall and ending this edict.
Okay. Then enough talking. Our lives hang in the balance because you two bicker like children. Now go solve this problem you started. Okay. No more sitting idle. I expect Disfavored to be the one to be on the march at once. Voice of Narat, I trust you are done acting the clown and he'll have your horde ready to march with all haste. Okay. Okay, so we can push either one of them. Yeah, or we can chastise them a bit for becoming like children, which again he confirmed. Then enough talking. There's work to be done. My lord, Barrick and his band has been drilled on the Echo Call assault plan. The Crescent Runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I'll dispatch him at once. The Iron Marshal salutes, clapping her gauntlet to her breastplate. Okay, that's their salute. He has one arm over his. I think that's what this portrait is. He's like putting his arm over his face because he's so tired of all the bickering and the infighting. Is that it, or is it something else? I can't say. Barrick, though you know him only by name, Barrick is a commander of the Stone Shields and well regarded by the Disfavored High Command. Okay. And I'll ensure the chorus stands ready to march. If the Disfavored can take the river, the chorus has a manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley. Interesting.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Verse, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunan's chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
Okay. Since Verse is with us, he has this extra dialogue. I guess Verse will be with us anyway, unless we somehow get killed by this point, which should be pretty difficult to do.
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
Okay. And I don't know if people can permanently die or if we can disband our party. I don't even know if that's an option. But once we have more party members, I feel like there will be more than 3 and we'll be able to switch them around, right? So should be some way to keep her away from us. The Archon twists his scepter one last time, then taps a 5th eye on the shoulder, and the two depart. You hear the voice in your head. Suit yourself, Fatebinder. The more you ignore us. Wait, what? How did we ignore you? Come on.
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the voices of Narat is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end.
Okay. I don't, there was, I guess it was in the last recording or like earlier in the episode, we talked about Disfavored and Graven Ash, and Graven Ash was very mighty commander, right? But then he came into an agreement with the Kairos or something. Yeah.
Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us.
Allies will work against us.
Now, if you'll leave me be, I have a battle to plan. I imagine duty requires you speak with the chorus further. But if I can convince you to lend a hand, most of my legion is trapped beyond the mountains, so I'm in need of an added sword or two.
Really? Do you want me to do your sword work?
If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
Alright. I'm short on a few scouts, short of a few soldiers, short of few everything. I'm sure my brethren would be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider. And what of Skull Chorus? How will they be helping?
I ask myself that question often. While we take the river crossing, the Scarlet Chorus should be using their sizable presence to remove the Oathbreaker patrols lurking in the outer valley.
Okay. The Oathbreakers have maintained a sizable force outside the citadel. We need the Chorus's manpower to scour the region, otherwise the Oathbreakers will attack at our heels once we cross Cemetery. So the crossing would be done by Disfavored, but after it's done, after they have forded the river and maybe established some sort of bridge or, whatever construct to ford the river. So after that, I think the Skull Chorus needs to rush in and take out the force outside the citadel. I would be honored to help. You gain favor with the Disfavored. The Iron Marshal salutes Gavenash, then turns to leave the tent. I'll be at the training grounds, readying the soldiers. Find me there when you're ready. Okay. She pauses, clearing a thought. And though I am loath to mention it, the course can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the outer valley on their own. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in that rat's nest they call a camp, due east. Seek him out if you must. Alright, cool. Wow, look at her. Sheesh. Conquerors will proclaim edict. We can talking with companions. Once a companion joins your party, you can talk to them at any time by selecting the conversation icon on the portrait. Each companion who joins you will have important information about the world of Terratus and their own opinion on the factions and situations you encounter. Knowing how they feel about events will allow you to make choices that build your reputation with each companion. Companions will also interject their opinions into conversations you're having with other characters. How you respond to their statements will alter your reputation with that companion and others in the party. Man, it would have been a nightmare to kind of design these conversations. 8 days to Kairos. Okay, they have a tracker right here. God damn it, game. Can't you just let me explore this setting in peace? Everything has to be timed. We'll make a larger save. Maybe we'll talk to this guy here. Like patrol the deserted camp once more, see if there's any new dialogue. And then we'll leave for the Skull Coast camp. The Archon of War lets out a long sigh as he surveys the maps and models displayed about his desk. He glances over his shoulder, making brief eye contact with you, furrows his brow, and turns back to his contemplation. The first time you proclaimed an edict, you gave the enemy a suspicious amount of time to ready themselves. I chalk it up to excessive mercy for a backwards people. But when edict is against your kin, that order you follow to the letter. I actually didn't have a choice this time, okay? I had to read it out loud. The game didn't give me a choice to like back out and like give a. The thing is, it's prudent to do it right now because it's time dependent, right? We all die. We have to do it anyway. So the earlier you know it, the better it is, I guess. Yeah, and this is definitely because of our choice. It does not have the green highlighting, but this is a choice that we made in the conquest. If we didn't give them time, the style would be different. Both to the Archon, maybe speak for a moment. I tire of all this endless battle. I am Archon of War, and the Overlord has decreed battle. If you wish to help, go speak with my soldiers. Return when you've done something useful. The Archon of War pounds the haft of his maul against the ground. Cool, dude. That's fine. I'll come back later. I can't steal anything from him. Frayed purple cloth. The tattered remains of an ironworker's cape. Ragged tears in the cloth obscure the sigil of disfavor. This torn cape can be sold to a merchant as spare parts. Looks like underwear. What the hell?
Sorry, I can't. That was so hard.
Okay. Ironwalker helm. Turquoise. Okay. Anything else? No. Armor can never reduce damage below 1. Okay. This is a new guy. This platform was empty earlier. Well, if it is in the Fate Binder, it's nothing new. Farewell. Same. What do you mean you haven't heard from the commander, Iron Core? It's been a full span since we sent word to him. Last we heard, Master Radix said to keep an eye on the northern pass, that he'd be coming through there. For the mercy of Kairos, we don't have soldiers sent hunting to the trees for our own damn earthshakers. Okay. You can talk to him, I guess. Fatebinder Sirius Brennan, am I right? I am Sevius, commander and 3rd generation Disfavored. Specifically, I am Sevius the Younger. Some folks can't keep track. So maybe there is an elder. We heard his name before, but I've already forgotten. The rank says commander, but lately I'm just organizing patrols and trying to stay out of the way. You should talk to Iron Marshal if you have something official that needs discussing. What is it you need? Earthshaker reinforcements. Is there a problem? Why is the siege delayed? Haven't worked well together. Okay. Tell me about yourself. Disfavored favor one. Not much to tell. My father was Sevius the Elder. His father was Sevius the First of his name. Lead drillmaster of Ash's first Iron Guard. Back when they were Bronze Guard. I was born to the Legion, and with any hope I'll die in the Legion. The rest you'll hopefully hear about when the storytellers immortalize me. Glad to see you have your own identity outside of the Legion. You mean his legacy? He wants to die for the Legion. He doesn't really want to have an identity, I think. It should be... Yeah, maybe this is a sarcastic remark. Bronze Guard? Well, his day and age was a century ago, and they didn't have Kairos' modern luxuries like iron. So back then, the great general's inner council was known as the Bronze Guard. Okay. Iron is also a luxury now, but iron is also hard to work with. They would prefer having bronze, but bronze is... No, iron is easy to work. I don't know. The blacksmith mentioned that bronze is harder to work with, right? Oh, no. Iron is easier to get. I don't know. I forgot. You should be proud of your lineage. Glad to see you have your own identity outside the... Yeah, this looks like a really sarcastic remark. Back to my other questions. Earthshaker were... Okay. I overheard you asking that Earthshakers were the reinforcements... Asking the Earthshaker where the reinforcements have gone. Oh, this is an Earthshaker? Okay. Is there a problem? I'm afraid so. Radix, the head of Earthshakers, was supposed to arrive with a group of his most competent spellslingers to break this stalemate. I don't know what's holding up the arrival, and that worries me. If you are at all inclined to lend a hand, we could use some arcane support on the side. I don't really... I could lend a hand. Northern clearing is now unlocked on the world map. Okay. Could you? I knew the 2 nonce agents wouldn't fail us in this time of need. I'll mark the last known site of our Earthshaker reinforcements on your map. Good hunting, Fatebinder. I thought they were blocked because of the avalanche, but apparently there's maybe some other reinforcements somewhere stuck. Why do you think the siege has delayed for so long? Favor 1. It should have been over real quick and simple. The first cohort arrived in the valley and went right for the kill, but that was before we knew Vendian Guard had sages and water witch on their side. Okay. A bigger problem is the Scarlet Chorus. They eagerly conscript the Vendian Guard, but I have no proof of this. But it seems they do very little to keep a watchful eye on these drafted TS-men. They are often sent out on patrol, and we suspect they use that opportunity to escape back to the Vendian Guard. Every chorus conscript has a choice, life under Kairos or death under the army's boots. By all means, feel free to cut down those who choose the latter. We won't be offended. Just so we don't make mistake each other. I know what I'm saying carries an implication of treachery. I'm not making a formal accusation before Tunon's agent. I'm just voicing my gut opinion on the matter. Okay, very diplomatic backing out. The two armies having worked well together in years. Why do you think that is? Come on, Binder. Seems like, oh, instead of Fate Binder, he's just shortened it to Binder. For a second, I was like, what is he talking about? Come on, Binder. Seems like asking why beasts sink. The Disfavored are only too eager to deliver Kairos' peace to the tears, while Skalkors bring only mayhem in their wake. You can tell me the voice of Ned has a plan, and I'll take your word for it, but Horatio seems to blunder around, never moving with the purpose as we do. Hmm. And this guy, voice of Ned, he seemed much more like vigorous, you know. He had much more vitality than I assumed he would. His voice was also much younger than I thought he would be like a really old, like wise man who speaks very little and be very cryptic. But he was a very jovial kind of individual. Here he's spinning his staff around, you know. He's he's making a side conversation with us while he looks like an entertaining fellow. That isn't what I expected. I wonder if we have been fighting the same war, soldier. I've seen Ashe yank his precious soldiers away from more battles than he's won. If you want to call that progress, be my guest. I don't think they'll ever get along. This is like, yeah, too much of a divide between them in terms of how they think and act. Unless we find a workers one, I fear that Skalkors will step in front of Gavin Ash's strategies at every turn. As far as I'm concerned, it seems like Voices of Narad is here to amuse himself, while the rest of us are here to do our job. Yeah, Voice of Narad is here to amuse himself. That's what it looks like. Maybe he has some deep plan, like a long-term plan. We don't know. Let's chase after this Earthshaker. No, we can't talk to her. Come on. We can talk to Bitterquip to see if he's any more updates now that Narat has left the camp. Back again. Bitterquip looks you up and down, his face unamused. Have you so little to do besides standing around the disfavored camp? Bitterquip looks at you impatiently. Right, farewell. Okay, lots of stuff to do. We have a couple of side quests to tackle. We have new maps to visit. We have a main quest in the Scarlet Forest camp, which is cool. Okay, alright. So, what do we do next? We can look at the map once to see if there's anything here. I don't think we can go inside this area. I don't know if we can go here. This is the edge of the map. I guess every place at the edge of the map just takes us to the map screen. And you have to travel to a different location. So there's some icon here. I don't know what this is supposed to. Okay, maybe it's just this. Okay, let's leave that for now. Let's travel out. And I think once we reach the next location, we'll stop for the day. Northern Clearing and Skalkor's Camp. Edgaring Ruins. We also had what was that location name? Something Crossing, right? Vendians Well, Contested Lands, Stone Sea. Northern Clearing or Skalkor's Camp. 1 hour 30 minutes. 11 hours. Okay, so it definitely makes sense that we go to Skalkor's camp first, because I want to kind of go to the Northern Clearing and kind of do a bit of combat. You know, this seemed like a side area, so that was what I thought we'd do. But there's a time investment, and it's really critical now because we are on the clock. So I guess we'll have to really have a better route than just go here and come back. It'll take 1 hour 30 minutes to complete the journey from Disfavored camp to Skalkor's camp. It's fine. Hover your mouse over an enemy's selection circle to see your chance to hit with your next attack ability. All right. Wow, the map is already filled in. Looks beautiful. But yeah, we'll stop our episode here. And next episode, hopefully, we can explore this camp and see where the story leads. Yeah.